bartender said from above in a deep voice.
You don't seem from around here. Now don't get me wrong, you don't look too shabby with that fancy cape and all. And I've already let you have some.
She could feel him eyeing her up and down.
But any more, and I'll need to see some credits.
He finally finished. She delved with one hand in a small pouch beside her, remaining as she was. Her posture unchanged, her gaze still lowered, remembering that small, intricate ornament, a brooch in the shape of a small flower, decorated with tiny, colorful gems. She took it out and tossed it towards him. It was not hers. Neither had it belonged to that large individual who had tried to ambush her from the dark shadows shortly before she had come here. Probably the reason she had decided to come here at all. A whistle from a shadowed passageway as she was passing by. Such a fool. As if she had ever needed warning. He had fallen limply at her feet, almost as soon as he had lunged at her, almost as if he had meant to prostrate himself to her. Almost. Save for the blood gushing in dark streams from the side of his neck where her dagger had sliced through. Close enough. She had been aiming for his neck anyway. That small, delicate thing had rolled free from somewhere on him, bouncing on the ground, coming to a rest right at her feet. Far too delicate an item for such a dirty, repulsive brute, taken from some nameless victim most likely, although who even knew? In any case, he certainly would no longer be needing it. Besides, a thin trickle of his blood had touched the side of her boot as she had been examining the object. It would only be appropriate for him to now compensate by paying for her drinks, on top of having compensated with his life.
Tell you what,
the bartender said after examining the object.
How about you give me a nice smile from that pretty face of yours, and I'll let you have a glass of what's left of our finest Osiren wine in exchange for that thing.
One more, she just said, even though he seemed to be testing the waters, treading on thin ice.
Look,
he sighed.
I've seen many here come and go over the cycles, and some have left in ways. Well, let's just say in ways they wouldn't have wanted to.
He leaned even closer. She could almost feel his breath on her brow.
Now, I wouldn't refuse a paying customer.
He continued more quietly.
But are you really sure you want more of that?
It finally made her focus. She lifted her gaze, narrowing her eyes, seeing his face right in front of her, his grizzled, rough-hewn face. Perhaps there was something in her gaze, in the way she had looked at him, something that made him suddenly widen his eyes, that made him realize it would be in his best interest not to interfere with her any further.